For more on this, let's bring in Peter Zalmayev from the nonprofit organization Eurasia Democracy Initiative, who is in Kiev. Mr. Zalmayev, the Ukrainian president, as I mentioned, has declared martial law. Do you think that this was justified, or do you think that Petro Poroshenko, as the Russian president says, is just trying to improve his ratings ahead of the upcoming elections?
Well, you have to, of course, there's always a political calculation. The Ukrainian president is a politician like anyone else. But that aside, declaring martial law at this point, not to be overly cynical about this, has been a tremendous diplomatic boon for Ukraine. Frankly speaking, Ukraine has not been in the headlines of Western media for quite some time. Folks have forgotten that there's a real war going on in the east of the country, and so with this martial law, whether you want to take a cynical perspective or not, Ukraine has pretty much stormed the headlines. Everyone is talking about Ukraine, and everyone again realizes that this war is serious, and this war may be very, very detrimental not only to Ukraine but to European interests as well.
Mm-hmm. So what is life like then for people there in Ukraine? I mean, what does martial law mean? Is there a curfew? I mean, can people go about their daily lives?
Well, first of all, the President Poroshenko, had to make a compromise with the opposition that was up in arms about this. The initial decision or declaration or statement of intent was to declare martial law for the entire country for 60 days. It's been now rolled back to 30 days, covering about 10 provinces of Ukraine, about half of its territory, and the Kiev, the capital city, is not covered by this. So right now it is not exactly clear what martial law will include, but for the most part it will mean a curfew, nightly curfew for citizens, and possibly requisitioning of property and arms, which is an extreme measure, and the government so far has ruled that out, declaring that this will be the very last resort in case that there is a flare-up or a full-scale invasion by Russia.
Mm-hmm. Since you're there in Kiev, I know you said that the martial law and this escalation in tensions has taken over the headlines worldwide, but on the streets there in Kiev and in Ukraine, can you give us a sense of what people are feeling? Are people concerned by this escalation? I mean, do they feel that an invasion from Russia is imminent?
I do not believe that you can have that sense walking the streets of Kiev or having a dinner at a Kievan restaurant. Obviously, when the news broke, there was a bit of a concern. You know, whenever you spoke to your friends, there was more so a confusion about what that martial law would imply. But speaking plainly, there's no sense of difference, at least in the capital city, that I was able to feel.
All right, Peter Zalmayev from the nonprofit organization Eurasia Democracy Initiative in Kiev. Thank you for joining us today.